What is happening? Welcome back to the Pass Alive. Thank you all for tuning in. And tonight, we have a special three-box rip for this episode of Turn Back the Clock Tuesday. A box that I've never opened before on this channel, 93 Stadium Club. And I came across three boxes, one from each series at an antique mall recently, and decided to grab all of them up and just revisit this entire release for the first time on this channel. Looking for insert cards primarily, something that I did a lot as a kid. Was always chasing after Griffey inserts and all of those prominent players. So we'll do the same thing today, except we have three juicy boxes of Stadium Club. The third year of Stadium Club, and each one has something special to the series. But primarily we're looking for first day production cards. They weren't serial numbered, but they were only printed in quantities of 2,000 a piece. You see them advertised in the front of the box here. These boxes aren't super expensive these days. You usually pick them up for about 30 bucks a piece, roughly. And there are 24 packs in each box. A 750 card set, 300 cards in the first two series, 300 a piece, and then 150 in the last series 3, which also houses a card that I would have been obsessed with back in 1993 as a 9-year-old kid, JT Snow rookie card. It's like I pack pulled that back then and was ecstatic. So it's time to get real rowdy. It's going to be a longer stream than usual with three whole boxes, and I'm hoping they don't brick together and stick together. And I don't think 93 really does. All the packs that I've opened, I never really saw that so much with 93 as I did with 91 especially, and other years of Stadium Club. So we got 24 packs each box. That means each participant is going to get one stack to be randomized the old-fashioned ghetto TPIA way here with these shuffling index cards. And to guarantee that there is no hanky-panky happening, keep it this way. Tango, you're going first. Top left is going to you in all three boxes. I haven't decided how I'm going to do it yet. I guess we'll just do a full box. Do it that way. So one box at a time instead of jumping series. We'll start off with the top left. Tango, this one is coming to you. Thank you guys all for being here. Paul L, Paul F, Danny, everybody else says, and tonight, love you, man. Some antics tonight. We have plenty of antics lined up. I'm sure we'll have special guest appearances in the form of Terminator 2 figures, and also Pee-wee, and also creepy Jeff Bittiger 89 Topps cards. And who knows what else we will get into tonight. But the first 6 packs are going to Tango. Good luck to you. Let's find you something nice. They already feel kind of sticky. I guess we'll see. If they're all bricked up, then I'll probably throw a temper tantrum, kick the tripod over, and go out and raise absolute hell in the streets. So I'm hoping that's not the case. And look at that. They're coming right apart. It's real nice here. Walker Washburn here. Paul Else is a Superior Series 3 is 92. That's very true. We have You-Know-Who in Series 3, the Mike Walkton. And we have Trevor Williams in the house, says, from Blink-182's Dance With Me. Ole, ole, ole. Yeah, we're doing it all night long. Not heard that in a very, very long time. Thank you very much for Trevor for reminding me of that. And welcome. Appreciate you being here. We got Greg Maddox and the Stars starting things off. I don't know if I've ever seen that card before. We're looking for Members' Choice cards also in here. It could be a very exceptionally long and painstakingly long rip, because they are stuck together, but there's no paper loss, luckily. And, of course, pay homage to my new Band-Aid now, on my thumb, due to a blister I got from weed whacking. This is Tim Salmon. I was definitely pumped on Tim Salmon as a 9-year-old kid back in 93. And we're going to see a lot of these, too. Redemptions for Master Photos. I was real obsessed with these when I was a kid. Obviously, you can't redeem them. Maybe if you want to mess with Topps, since they just expanded their redemption time to 10 years. Maybe send that into them anyways. Samuel Tello starts it off. A guy I was probably stoked on at one point in time. Very, very long time ago. And we also have in the house, Ripping Vintage. Scott, what's up, man? Long time no see. So sorry I always missed your live streams, brother. I'm watching on my TV now. Appreciate all you do. Don't forget Taco Bell. Good to see you, man. I was wondering how you've been. It's been a very long time. Ripping Vintage Scott needs to get out there and make some videos. It's been quite a while since I've seen him put anything out. Glad you can make a stream, man. It's Franklin Stubbs for You-Know-Who. I don't think Corey's in here to quote that one. But check out Ripping Vintage and subscribe to him if you have not done so already. Trying to encourage him to make some videos again. Been quite a while. Pat Listash, Member's Choice. The second year Pat Listash would have been a hot one back then, and very sparkly if you're trying to impress any new lady friends or existing lady friends in your life by having that showcased on your freaking mantle. Pete Shurik, Danny's Stadium Club sticky. They definitely are. I was worried they were going to be like this, and it was going to be a very long rip, and that is the case. Felix Hernandez, Tim Jones. We're still not even through pack 1 yet. Jeff Grotwold. A name I don't really remember that well from my childhood. Pretty sure that's definitely a fake name. Freshly accepted into the witness protection program. Willie McGee always comes through with looking absolutely miserable, as to be accepted or expected in Johnny Guzman. Ends that pack. First pack in the books for Tango. It'll be a long one tonight, so grab yourself a Zevia, a beer, bath salts, whatever tickles your fancy. Grab it. You're going to freaking need it tonight to get through this long rip and all of the propaganda pieces we're going to see. There's Deion James starting things off. We'll try to speed up a little bit, though. We had to get a feel for these cards. And, of course, Stadium Club, one of my favorite touches that they had, and I've said it many times before, was putting the Topps rookie card on the back. They did this in 92, actually 91, 92, 93, and I believe in 94 they stopped doing it. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I looked at the 94 Stadium Club card, but I think they did it for 3 years. And that was it. But they shrank it down this year, too. But I always thought that was a cool touch. Used to look at those all the time. Tarble, Delano Shields. Paul L. says, Franklin Stubbs, I bet he has a stub on his toe. Quoting one of the best videos of all time that's pinned in the Facebook group, if you have not seen that yet. One of the best videos ever. Personal favorite. Delano Shields. There's Cal Ripken for Ripping for Ripkins, who has abandoned me, apparently. Lloyd McClendon. Anyone Slike, Member's Choice. Sparkly touch to that one. Jeff Parrott, Jeff Kent, second year card. Terry Steinblock having the time of his life. Looks absolutely wasted in the dugout in that photo. Mr. Bloodvessels, let's get your squeegee and your lube. It will be a while. I'm going to be here a long time tonight. And I purposely scheduled it a little earlier so I'd be able to make it to Giant Eagle before 10 o'clock. It doesn't seem like that's going to happen. Sid Bream, Kenny Lofton sliding in, creating quite the dust storm there. There's Derek May. I never really cared for him too much. Carlos Baerga, that's an interesting card. Carlos Baerga and the Superman pose. I don't know if I've ever seen that one before, but I am definitely kind of obsessed with that now. Of course, there's only one levitating act, and it's the one that cannot be followed by everyone's favorite, Mike Walkton, forever floating and levitating in this soon-to-be snow globe. We got 4 packs left for Tango. Definitely a fun rip. You can find some cool inserts in here. Expansion teams this year. Paul L is pumped on the early Mike Walkton sighting. I figured he would be. But a nice design to these cards. Somewhat basic, but still. Stadium Club always had super nice photography. Pete Smith starts it off. Is that a miscut? I think that's a miscut. I don't know. I don't think that's supposed to be there. It almost looks like it kind of goes there, but at the same time, I don't think that belongs there. That's a pretty wild one. I've seen some pretty crazy Stadium Club miscuts, but that might take the cake. Scott Bankhead. Mike Scioscia. Yeah, it's definitely a weird one. Jim Leyritz, another propaganda piece. We got Floyd Van the House. Robin Ventura, Member's Choice. No sign of any inserts yet. Rex Hudler, who we found out is still kicking after all these years, although he was pronounced dead here at one point in time. Bill Pacoda, that's a cool photo. Clay Parker, Mike Bucina, early on in his career. Robert Springs says, look at the back. The back miscut, let's check it out. Oh yeah, it's definitely a real bad miscut. Number 116 below him. That's pretty freaking awesome. No sign of any first day productions. Like I said, those were produced at a rate of 2,000 per card per series, but they weren't actually physically numbered. Ted Power, Dean Palmer, and a Member's Choice, Tom Glavine. There's a bunch of errors in this set too, but nothing that's really too notable. Nothing that's worth mentioning really so much. Just minor things spelled wrong or missing. There's no really wrong photos or anything of that nature. Pack wrappers were always wrapped super tight, so you gotta be careful. Pull them out of there, to not ding all the corners. Looks like we have an insert card. Our first hit from this box. And again, the first day productions are 1 per box. I don't know if I said that or not yet already, but Mike Perez, Pat Kelly, looks like we got a George Brett insert card. I don't think I've ever seen this one before, so it's pretty sick. Brent Main, kind of a cringy name. I feel like I was pumping him at one time, but check out the Brett insert. Hopefully there's no paper loss. I know that some of these 90s inserts really want to cling to the next card and have paper loss for whatever reason. You know what? I have seen this one before. It's been a while, though. Tim Tuffle really hang on for dear life there, but there's George Brett insert card. 3,000 hit club. September 30th, 1992. So it's a 4-card insert set. And these were exclusive to Series 1. But one of the inserts shows up early on. These might be like 1 per box, but I almost like the back better than the front. I know I had that card as a kid, but I don't remember ever seeing the back of it. Very nice. Joe Carter shows up. Let's find some more miscuts. Some more debauchery. Hopefully a Jeff Bittiger 89 tops inside one of these packs. Jeff Marzano. Ron Tingley. Damon Berryhill. Lee Guterman. We have Carpal Tunnel after this. Juan Gonzalez, Member's Choice, and Vince Horseman ends that pack. 2 more left for Tango in his first stack. Jose Montez says, I know Carlos Delgado can be found on packs. I think Carlos Delgado's in here. I believe he's in this set. The second year card. Chaos says, can we at least get a Bip Roberts for Tango? Crossing my fingers for a Bip Roberts for Tango. Paul L says that Carlos Baerga looks non-human. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that card. That Baerga is pretty freaking crazy. Scott Brocious leaping around. Frank Viola. And JT Snow rookie for a second there. Kind of looks a lot like his card. Travis Fryman, Member's Choice. Shane Turner. Jay Bell, as a kid, I like that card. Cool shot of Three River Stadium. R.I.P. Eric Fox looking real pissed in that photo. And definitely some stickiness here. I almost passed over a Todd Hundley. I would not want to deprive you guys of seeing Todd Hundley. I think it's listed on the marketplace for $6,500. Yeah, I was pretty pissed that that guy took that listing down for that Barry Bonds Rockies card. Jim Eisenreich desperately trying to hide his pulsating jugular vein. Probably a piece, Vinny Velarde. They should bring back the rookie cards on the back of the new Stadium Club. They should do that, man. That was such a cool touch. That was one of my favorite things about Stadium Club. Jeff Tackett. Milt Kyler. Cards, and guitars. We got Alton in the house as well. So hit that thumbs up and sub to this channel. Alton, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate you. Please make sure you sub to Alton also. I put a video out not too long ago. And had a recent video too going through his last break from this channel. So check him out if you have not done so. I think he's getting near about 700 subs. Kind of close to it from what I remember. So cards, and guitars. Please post a link to him, Tango, if you have not already. Paul Elson, did you see our favorite genius uploaded yet another video of him reading a checklist? I did not see that. That's pretty awful, though. I don't know. Teach his own, I guess, but not something I would want to watch or make a video on. Craig Shipley, Wood McClendon sliding in there. And also Tim Tuffle lurking in the background. Mark Leiter. And another miscut. I am getting more and more obsessed with these on this mullet full card of Danny Gladden. Check out the backside. Very nice. And now a propaganda piece for first day production cards. And they're pretty cool. They're just basically a little silver box. Now one of the top corners, but they have some value to them though. Tomlin. Paul says, don't expect that card, Tango either. Jeff King. We're looking for some missing foil if we can find any of those or spot any either. Frank Thomas, horizontal cards, a nice one. Jeff Brantley. Walker, Member's Choice. I definitely was buying these, not at probably the rate I was buying Topps 93. I was trying to put that set together, and I never actually finished it. The days before the internet, where you had to actually use checklists because Beckett didn't have all the cards listed in them. So I came up short, never actually finished the 93 top set. I'll have to go back and once we do a 24-hour live stream going through my childhood cards, we'll have to revisit that set. The first stack of the books for Tango, the Brett 3000 Hits is probably my favorite card. So Tango will have the top left in each box. Timmy Tea Time, what's going on, man? I hope you're doing well too. Thank you for popping in. The next stack, and we'll do this one. Looks like it's James H. I don't think he's in here. But James H., let's find you something neat in the top right. Jason Easterling, what's going on, man? Glad you can make a live stream. These pack wrappers always just tear to shreds. Paul F. said, I pulled a Member's Choice first day production in my LCS, and the owner paid me 100 smackaroonies right there. Huge for a 13-year-old. That's pretty crazy, man. That is definitely a pretty sick memory. I feel like back when I was a kid, I was pulling, I don't even know, probably Pascal Perez, first day productions. There's definitely never anyone prominent. I probably would have paid $100 for like a Jose Lean first day production back as a kid. Just shove and take my freaking money and give me that Jose Lean. Rafael Belliard and Doug DeCenzo. Greenwell, Don Slott, Matt Williams. Chaos says, dang, 100 smackaroonies. Definitely a lot of money. Paul Gibson, looking dorky as ever. We love you, Paul Gibson. Sheffield Member's Choice is a nice one. Mike Maddox. There's Juan Bell now showing up. I believe Mariano Duncan. Lewis, Gary Thurman. Looks like he's going to strangle somebody. Alejandro Pena. And Jose Rio. But the collation has been pretty good. There's Moises Alou to celebrate my giant stack of 90 score Moises Alou sitting next to me. And Mark Lemke. Once again, down in the dumps and about to burst into tears. Always with Mark Lemke. Very emotional. I don't think I've ever seen a Mark Lemke card where he's really smiling. It's always just super depressing. Instantly just puts me in an indifferent mood. Next pack for James H. Pete Incaviglia shows up. Raphael Bornagol. I feel like my brother and I did not like him when we were kids, and I don't know why. Greg Swindell, one of the OG omens here. And another miscut. These are very, very prominent in this box. Joe Hesketh. Not as good as the first one we saw, though. Incaviglia, Propaganda Piece, yet again. Generic info card. Hippolito now shows up, but I don't think we've really seen, like, two of the same cards yet. And we are almost halfway through the box. Tim Wakefield as a kid, I love this card. Wakefield left us way too early recently. But what an awesome card that was. Jim Tummy. Brian Bohannon, Sweet to Lou Whitaker, Fletcher, Todd Van Poppel. That looks like it should be like a rookie card photo and not like a third-year card. And Mike Devereaux shows up to end that pack. And not seeing a Griffey, no Nolan Ryan yet. But a few names that we've yet to see that may not be in Series 1, but I'm sure we will come across them at some point. Mark Waller starting things off. Lemke looks like his chinchilla died. Yeah, it's a good way to put it. Drebeck, definitely staggering around. Looks like he's almost leaving the bar late one night and about to call me. Mike Munoz and Joe Oliver crawling around in the dirt. For a second, I thought it was Jeff Reed. I wish it was. Probably gonna piece. Eddie Murray. Brian Charles in the house. They're coming apart a little easier now, but a very sexy-looking Benito Santiago. I'm not sure what was up with that photo compared to all the action shots that we've seen. It looks like it should be on a studio card instead of Stadium Club. Mark Clark. Paul says, what's up with red catchers and crawling in the dirt? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Albert Bell, is that swamp ass or is that just a shadow? Can't quite tell, but interesting nonetheless. Dan Pasqua, Mike Stanton, Gary Wayne, and Wes Chamberlain ends that pack. We got 3 left. Stuffs 1, 2, 3 channel says, too bad John doesn't have a car. John, is it me? I don't have a car. I didn't know that I didn't have a car. That's interesting. Guess I'm walking to the store after this. Got a Puckett in the back of this stack. Brian Charles says, great night for some wax, and we got plenty of it. Nice photo of Puckett. He's talking about John Mabry. I missed that. Peel those first day production decals. Tim Laker. Matt, what's going on, man? Check this card. There's actually an error on one of these. They spelled Tom Glavine's name wrong. It's not this one, though. Trevor Wilson, Mike Flanagan, Black Jack McDowell. Wally Moon says, store you're walking to Taco Bell. You're probably right. You're probably right, Wally Moon. Jeff Branson. Try to be healthy for a couple days, and it just doesn't really hold up very well. Fitzy in the house. Chase McClain is still looking at that first day production. Nolan Ryan all these years later. Yeah, it's. I mean, one per box. They're tough to come across. Randy Milligan miscut now. Especially big sets like Stadium Club. To find the card you're looking for, you kind of almost have to take to eBay for that. The pack pull, that'd be pretty tough. Tony Pena, nice photo of him, and Juan Guerrero. I don't remember Juan Guerrero so much. I opened a lot of cards from this era. Interesting. 2 packs remain. Paul says, remember the 90 tops box with like a dozen green border miscuts? I still have those set aside. I think that happened twice. The first time it was a lot worse than the second time. But I think like every pack almost had one in it in the first box. We got Scotty Arms in the house. What's happening, man? Joe Orsolak, deep in thought. Scotty Arms, Rasputin. Got some Rasputin cards sitting right in front of me here, along with this legendary slab. Official Adam Rock TPI hybrid slab upside down. That's freaking awesome. Love it. Some stickiness here once again. I swore after the Ultra break that I did, I wouldn't open anything like this for a while, but a sucker for punishment, I guess. Kent Merker. DNA certified. Propaganda piece, Vince Coleman. But overall, for like the tail end of the junk wax era, not seeing a crap load of repeats. There's really not many. Mike Blowers, who's definitely an omen. Another checklist card here. I think the Glavine is in a different series. John Dobson. The only good Stadium Club card I have is a Nolan Ryan tuxedo. That's an iconic card. That was worth a crap load of money back in 1991. Tony Phillips, jumping around. Bob Wickman, a name that I was pumped on in the early 90s. Paul's YouTube Hall of Fame. Guy burning 88 score card while singing gospel hymns. That video is so ridiculous. Lee Banks, Darryl Boston, saying the Pledge of Allegiance. But yeah, if you didn't see that in the Facebook group, there's a really creepy video on YouTube. Paul L. came across and posted a guy burning a bunch of like junk wax era stuff. He throws an entire 88 score factory set into a burn barrel, and he's singing gospel hymns while he's doing it. It's very weird and off-putting video. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched enough of it to reach a conclusion. Lee Stevens, Ray Sanchez, and another miscut. Lots of those in here. I can't burn any cards. I've never done it before. I remember Corey did it a while back, and also Jonathan H. made a video destroying cards. Dave Burba missing his neck. And Jonathan H. was putting cards into a paper shredder, and people were really pissed at him. I don't know if he's in here to defend himself or try to defend himself. Dave Hansen, Kevin Seitzer, Charlie O'Brien, Ramon Martinez, and Ken Hill, of course, is going to show up. But unfortunately, it's not the $30 Ken Hill rookie card. So that's stack number 2 in the first box for James H. We'll go to number 3. That one actually went pretty quickly in comparison to the other ones. So the bottom left is going to be, in each box is going to be, we'll pick this one, Alton. Alton, you are the bottom left in all 3 boxes. Get settled in. Pushing buttons. What's up, man? And for the long haul tonight, of course, Chris Sabo is there to greet us, as always. Robin Yount shows up. Recycle them commons. Usually I take them and I sell them in bulk lots. I have a guy that's been calling me randomly, Al Osuna, and throwing a haymaker. There's the Yount. Probably in a piece. There's a guy that, I guess he fills card vending machines. I don't know, I guess he does pretty well doing that, apparently. But he wants to buy all of my bulk off of me from now on. So I'll wait for him to call and I'll sell it all to him. And he puts them in there for what, 25 cents or 50 cents a piece. I think it's mostly commons, but that's what I do with them nowadays. Joey Cora and Chris Sabo ends that pack. But these aren't mine. These are all paid for by other people. So if I was opening a box, personal rip, I'd take out the cards I want, put the rest in those boxes, and then sell them off. I still have way too many as it is, even after doing that. Storm Davis shows up, but very impressed that we're not seeing a crap ton of Carlos Martinez, etc. in this rip. Wayne Kirby, definitely a guy I was stoked on back around this time. Remember his 93 Donruss rated rookie card was one I probably had in the top loader. And speaking of interesting things in general, how can we not pay homage to this creepy card? Very interesting photo there. No words for that picture. Kevin Campbell, Dave Winfield. I don't know if I've ever seen this one before either. It's an interesting shot of Dave. Fisk, but same club always had this premium photos. Bernard Gilkey, of course, shows up. Joey Davis and Rod Beck is going to end that pack. Not really sure who Alton is hoping for, but Alton's good luck tip for Alton. Well, hopefully we'll find you something nice in this stack and then the next two boxes. No sign of any first day production cards yet, so I'm hoping that we will get a prominent player, star of some sort once that shows up. Keep an eye out for them in case I overlooked them, like I was doing those gold medallion cards a while back. Blended in, but cards, guitars. Rob Deere sliding in there. Nagel, Cliff Brantley, Pat Henkin just got done throwing a hissy fit in that photo. Montgomery, Mean Muggin, Gene Larkin, Boggs, very interesting facial hairless photo of Boggs. Not used to seeing that. And Biggio shows up, Rob Ducey, and Roberto Alomar to end that pack. 3 packs left, the bottom left. Matt says, I don't believe I bought any in 93. Yeah, I wasn't buying a lot of these. Because like I said, they're $2 a pack, so I was probably buying more score and tops than anything else. But card prices or pack prices definitely raised between 92 and 93. But these were still affordable. Still do some chores around your house and buy a few packs of these. Vescaino, Kurt Knudsen. Brendan Oddap in the house says, hey, John, finally I catch a live rip. I need or miss an episode, though. I never miss an episode, though. Brendan, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate that. I know that you're still active on the Facebook group. I appreciate you catching a live stream, man. I know not everyone can make it because they are at, different times depending on where you're at because of people's work schedules. But I appreciate you popping in here, man. It's good to see you. Thank you very much. And our first day production card shows up. And it's not really a prominent name, but this is what we're looking for. Very sleek looking design. I wish they would have done a little more with the card instead of just put the little text box on there. But still, you can see how you could overlook that somewhat easily if you're not keeping an eye out for them. But a nice photo overall, though. But that one is found in this box. So, couldn't have been a Frank Thomas or a Ripken, but perhaps we will find a better one in box number 2. Dan Plesac for Wally Moon. Jeff Fry, Melendez, Brett Butler. That photo is pretty funny, though. Mike Timlin and Chris Hammond ends that pack. Cards, Guitar says, rest in peace, Wade Boggs. I heard that joke before. I've seen it around online about people joking around about him being dead. Wade Boggs is still very much alive. Yeah, from Always Sunny, they say Boggs died. That's what it's from. I saw everyone like, what? What happened? Thank you for that, Alton. Yeah, I've never seen the episode, but it's a series I need to go check out. I've seen certain random parts of episodes with Danny DeVito and Juggalos, etc., that people have sent me, and I've never gone and watched the show. I need to check it out, though. Pete Harnish, Cobbett. My favorite old Stadium Club design? I like 94 a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably go with 94. I think that was my favorite out of all of them. 92 was very basic. I like this design a lot, too. 91, of course, is classic, but as far as overall appeal, I kind of like this release, too. I'd say between 93 and 94. I like the stars randomly added to these. Todd Burns, Jose Offerman. This is actually an uncorrected error, I believe. Something real weird in here. I forget what it is. It doesn't say his birthplace or something like that, or the town. I forget what it is. Juan Guzman shows up. I like them all, but I like this design a lot, and I like 94. A little different. The inserts in 94 are kind of cool, too. Scott Fletcher, Samuel Otello, and Carlos Hernandez. We've only seen one of those redemption cards so far. Only one. Mikey G, you did not miss your stack yet. You're next. You're the bottom right in each box. But again, not a very expensive release, but nice looking cards. No border on them. And they didn't have a bunch of inserts. And the first few years of Stadium Clubs are really limited on inserts. And they kind of added some pretty sick ones coming 94. Bill Swift and the Stars. Hired Guns' Triple Play for the nickname cards was fun when I was a kid, always hunting Griffies. The 93 Triple Plays were pretty sick. The insert set that was all nicknames, one of Corey's favorite sets. He used to like that one a lot. And I had never opened a box of Triple Play on this channel. I don't know if people would thank me for that or would request that I would open that, but much better than 2013 Triple Play, that's for sure. Or 92 for that matter. 92 was pretty bad. Scott Scudder shows up. So many errors. There definitely were a lot of errors. I still find out about new errors almost every day. Kent Botfield, Craig Wilson. Radinsky. And Els Burks. Whoops, Butterfingers. Ends that stack and that pack for Alton. Alton in the bottom left. And that takes us to the last stack for the first box, which is going to be Mikey G. Mikey G is back with us now. Before we go into Series 2 from 93, at this next 6 packs to finish off, and this incredibly long rip. We're going to be here for a while, so throw them back. I'm about to start myself. John Kruk now shows up, but I gotta hand it to him, though. Not really any duplicates in here. There's Raphael, P.E.D. Marrow, Dwight Smith, Harold Reynolds, and probably in a piece. See if we can find any more inserts in here, but it seems like they kind of skimped us. 1 per box for each one. I'm more of a scale. There's Eric Anthony rounding the bases. Mark Gardner, Steve Farr. I'm just relieved that there is no paper loss. Tim Jones, now we're starting to see a few familiar faces. Fake faces, I might add. Hollywood Sr. Todd Zeal shows up the first time, and Frank Tanana ends the first pack of this box. Howard Guns is nothing worse than some of the bazooka cards, unless it's 81 Donruss like your brother opened. Yeah, that was a pretty awful box. That was where the whole John Wathan thing came from, and when I opened 81 Donruss, I think it was the second time I opened a box of those, or maybe it was the first, but I had good luck because we got 6 Tim Raines rookies out of that. I think it was Craig B that got all 6 of them. It was pretty freaking epic. But it wasn't terrible like that, where it was the same exact cards in every single pack. Paul Sorrento for Paul L. Jack Clark shows up. There is the Hawk for Corey, who is not in here, but Very menacing photo of Dawson. Dennis Cook shows up now. Must pay homage to this wild man. Mike Bordick, Carl Willis, Craig Gerbeck, Tim Raines. Is he being stabbed? Almost looks like he's being stabbed in the back on that photo. Pat Boulders and the Stars, Langford. There's a Bip Roberts for Tango, and Russ Swan ends that pack. Boyd Butt says John got the actual correct Smoltz Glavin card the other day. Yeah, you don't see that very often. It was you come across the Smoltz Glavin a lot more than the corrected Smoltz. But I like that one a lot. It's a pretty cool one. Not really any value to it at all, but it's definitely a neat card. Ron Gant, Lenny Harris. Paul, did you see the error more than you end up thinking the corrected one is the error? There's an Eckersley member choice. First time seeing that one in this box. Very sparkly. Tim Pugh, Bond sliding in. There's Franklin Stubbs yet again. The second time. Hartley. Greg Vaughn now shows up for Wally Moon's unibrow. I'm sure he is rejoicing at the sight of that. Damian Easley. There's Buddy Bo and Brian Harper, another 94 studio looking card. 3 packs left in the first box. Series 1 for Mikey G. Jeter obviously made it into the Murphy set this year, one of his most valuable rookies, and one that I almost bought for $8 about a year or so ago, until an older lady crushed it in her hand like nothing directly in front of me. What the hell is this? Matt Noakes with some sort of weird and strange substance fossilized on this card that I'm absolutely obsessed with. It almost looks like it's like skeletal remains embossed on this card. I don't know what's up with that, but I'm obsessed with it. Tim Belcher, Rick Sutcliffe. We have all kinds of strange substances, stains in this pack. Card mangling granny. There's Eric Karros. There's Tat Paddler now showing up. His limp-wristed antics. Ken Patterson. That's cracked meth variant. It's Willie McGee again, making me feel very miserable at the sight of Willie McGee. Mike Wallaris says, sorry I'm late to this debauchery. Let's go. Mike W., what is going on, man? Remember, for 24 months, that is pretty insane. Thank you very much. Pete Sherrick, Sid Bream, and Lofton. You're just in time for box number 2 of this all-night debauchery. Any new robot stories? You know what? I went there, what was it? It was probably several days ago, and he wasn't there. I think I've gone twice, actually, within the last week, and both times he was not there. So I'm not sure what's going on, if he's dodging me deliberately, but rest assured, you can trust I'm going to get to the bottom of it. Gant shows up. Yeah, no robot sightings recently. I haven't even seen him walking around town anywhere. I'm looking forward to that. So I'll definitely yell out the window at him. Lloyd McClendon, Van Slyke again. So now seeing the dupes. Rudinsky, former singer of 10-Foot Pole and Pulley, if you're into those punk bands. Rick Rona. Probably the shop for an upgrade. Yeah, the whole Kane thing, his charging stick, maybe something happened with that. There's Ben McDonald, Rogers, and Phil Plantier. Ends that pack. One more left for Series 1. The list stash used to be a big one. Definitely was. He won Rookie of the Year in 92. I remember pack pulling Pat Listash's 92 Stadium Club. I think he was in Series 3 that year. But I remember pack pulling that, and I think at the time Beckett had it listed at like $250. So naturally, I was rich. Brandon says, you haven't seen him, but he's seen you. I don't doubt it. I'll never forget when I was in the one day I was in a different town out where my brother lives, which is up the road about 15 minutes or whatever. He came out there. I was at Walmart during the day. I was in the card aisle looking at cards when he should have been at work in his town or in our town. Doesn't drive. He takes the bus everywhere like a true T1000 would. And he came down the card aisle. So you have, what, I don't know, 15 aisles at Walmart. He comes in there while he's supposed to be at work, 20 minutes away, and comes down the card aisle right towards me. And that was before I knew him. and just kind of like shoulders past me. So this feud's been going on for quite a while. It's probably about 3 years ago or something, maybe a little longer. I couldn't believe it though. That's kind of like the moment when it clicked and I knew that he was out to destroy me, even though he won't admit to it. But there's Goose Gossage showing up. Ruskin. Brian McRae, I liked that card when I was younger, and Roberto Hernandez. Ends that box. The first box in the books. First day of production was a little bit of a letdown, but let's see if we can make up for that in box 2. And that's the nice thing about doing 3 boxes is that you'll see different cards in every box, and you'll see different inserts. Won't be the same thing constantly. So as we see here, includes action photos of the Florida Marlins and Colorado Rockies. Ooh, I'm excited. Very excited about this. Pulled myself a Dave Need insert card, which I would have flipped the hell out over as a 9-year-old kid. Brian Smith, what's happening, man? Says, what's up, John and friends? Bring on the Gwyn. Let's find them. Box number 2. Hopefully we will be blessed with no sticky business. Chaos says he may be destroying you through heart disease. That long game. Yeah, you're probably not wrong about that. That's something to think about, Chaos. Something to think about. I think you're definitely right about that, though. Touche, Robot. Tango, the top left is going to you. I wonder if Arnold would autograph that robot doll. Yeah, I don't know.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Arnold is here with us, as well as Pee-wee and Cherry. Hot attraction in downtown Greensburg. Downtown Greensburg is dying off. And it's great because like this, my storefront is still empty. There's still nobody in there. Not a soul, not a business has moved in there since the TPIA retail store closed. The end of an era. I guess I ruined it enough that no one else wants to move in there. So, all right, Series 2. Tango, let's find you. Some nice stuff in here. Brett Boone, Dennis Eckersley shows up now. Chad Curtis for Topps Jailbreak. Coming soon, Bill Wegman, who has an interesting 92 Upper Deck hologram card. I'm not really sure why. There's Doug Henry. And the flashy propaganda pieces now. Very 90s. Looks like a Trapper Keeper. I'm obsessed with that. Todd Froworth. Let's see if we find any nice inserts in this box. Dale Murphy looking a little sassy there. Hands on his hips. Gaetti, Archie, Skeeter. Some names I have not even thought about in a long time. Henry Cotto and Brady Anderson. First pack down. Different color pack wrappers in case no one noticed that. We got Randy Johnson in the back of this next pack. And his 89 Topps. Luis Rivera starts it off. Tewksbury. Very interesting senior portrait here with chest hair. The only senior to have chest hair and a sunglass tan line, giving Dave Smith a run for his money. I miss Dave Smith. I feel like we haven't seen him in a while. Ryan Sandberg, member choice. Chuck Carr, one of my personal favorites, probably around this time. For whatever reason, I was real stoked on Chuck Carr. I think it was like in between the whole Jose Lean being my favorite player to Aaron Seeley. I think in between it was Chuck Carr and probably 100 other prospects at the time. I think me and Joe's Card Corral were real pumped on Chuck Carr. I think I want to say he traded me like, what was it? I don't even know. He would know what it was. He traded me like a Bonds rookie or something like that for a Chuck Carr base card, I believe. Pudge Rodriguez shows up. Bob Welch. Ron Karkovice, a.k.a. Father Time. Even when he was like 25, he looked like he was 70. David Segui, Cheeto Martinez. Said that name in a long time either. And Randy Johnson. Very interesting photo of the big unit, as Corey would call him. 4 packs left in stack number 1. Pudgy Rodriguez. That's more fitting for that photo. Jack Moore shows up. Marquise Grissom, member choice. Vinny Castilla. It is a second-year card of him. In case you're wondering, didn't want anybody to be Staying up late tonight, laying in bed and wondering if that is a second year Vinny Castillo or not. It is. Ramon Martinez, Jack Morris. There's the sweet Trapper Keeper info card. Anthony Young. Bell Mercedes. Scott Cooper, Troy Neal. So many cringy prospects in here that I probably would have been flipping out about, like Troy Neal. There's Mike Piazza, an early Piazza card. I don't know if I've ever seen that one before. Not a rookie, even though it's a First Stadium Club card. We don't refer to those as rookies. I don't really know many people that do that, but Zane Smith and all his hideous glory shows up. Or is his 86 tops. So many second years, lots of them. George Taco Bell. Anthony Young lost 26 games in a row. That's awful. Paul L says, Troy Neal, why the hell did he ever get a starting lineup figure? That's right, he did have one. I think I saw that not too long ago. I saw somebody selling Troy figures somewhere. I forget what it was, but I think they're like $5 a pop. I'm like, no one's going to pay you $1 for that. Smoltz shows up now. Roberto Mejia. Daryl Whitmore. I think there's something with the Daryl Whitmore, too. I think that might be possibly an error. Something, of course, it's not very noticeable. William Swaro. Mo Vaughn, crawling around the dirt. There's Mark Grace for Jason Easterly, if he's still with us. Lenny Webster. We got Nolan Ryan finally making an appearance. Sean Jeter, the wrong Jeter. And Tony Gwynn shows up. That's a cool photo. I like that one. Gwynn and Nolan Ryan. The Ryan Express, as Corey calls him, back-to-back. Larry Walker. It's a pretty good pack. Hernandez, Darryl Kyle, and Kevin Brown. But Tango called it the Gwynn. And 2 packs remain. Barge your angry neighbor's yard and get your styrofoam tombstones back to use as pool floats. Yeah, that styrofoam tombstone is definitely long gone. I saw we had some heavy winds here the last, like, I don't know, a month or something like that, a month ago. And one of my my deck chair cushions like flew into the yard. I was like, I better go out and get that before it flies in the neighbor's yard, because I can see them being real pissed about that. The styrofoam tombstone wasn't like, not horrible because it would have blown away probably pretty easily, but that that cushion, I had to go grab it, but it was almost in their yard too. Roberto Alomar, Jeff Conine. These ones are really sticky. But no paper loss, luckily. Marquise Grissom, we got another checklist card. Not the one with Glavin air that we're looking for. And Paul L, rejoice, for we have an Orestes Estrada. I didn't realize he was in this set. And there is that 89 Topps card that, as a kid, definitely used to throw things at that from far away. So when you're buying 90s product, you always got to keep in mind that they may be stuck together. You may have horrendous paper loss. You may have annoying stickiness like this, but luckily the cards are all salvageable. Bob Walk now shows up for Joe's Card Corral, who's back on the abandonment list yet again. Ryan Thompson with Jay Bell in the background. There's Gordon, Jackson, and the final cards pack, Tom Marsh. 1 pack left for Tango. We got a long ways to go. Still, I'm not even halfway through box number 2, and we're almost an hour in. Might as well just keep it going and see what other kind of riff-raff I can open up after this. Maybe some 92 Topps kids. Calvin Jones switched it off. Darren Holmes. Eric Hansen. Sid Fernandez. Alex Fernandez. Probably a piece. There's bagpipes for Corey. Paul says, might as well tickle your minty, lavish, fancy, bulbous, mumbo jumbo, bugaboo, hanky panky, swashbuckle, ditty vibe. 95 Bazooka. 95 Bazooka, I kind of like that release. I'm sure I should probably hate it, but I used to go to a grocery store, like ride my bike there or walk there when I got old enough, or with my brother when we'd go down there and buy packs of Bazooka. I guess I was, what, 11 in 95, so I was riding my bike there. And he had packs of Bazooka for sale, and we'd go there and buy those. That's pretty neat memory. But Tango, that's your second stack in the books for Series 2. And then it was called Johnny's Market. And he also had nudie magazines in there. And you'd get real pissed if you even walked anywhere near him. And I'm pretty sure he had, like, I don't know, he had a bunch of candy, like, right by the Playboys and stuff. And it's like, well, maybe don't put that next to those magazines or put them somewhere else, man. And he definitely talked with a lisp, and he talked real fast. And we're pretty sure he was a dirty bookie. So the next one, James H., you got top right. But Johnny's Market, we got lots of stories of that place. And going there when I was younger until he moved away in 2001. But he was a dirty bookie, and he would get real pissed off at times. All the food in there was expired. And we would go in there and buy penny candy. They were called Fruities. They were Tootsie Rolls, but like they actually had like flavoring to them. And we'd go in there and buy like 100 at a time or 200 at a time. And he'd have to sit there and count every single one of these out. I remember there was one time we were sitting outside of his store, and my buddy we were just sitting there eating what we called Tooties, even though they're called Fruities. We were just sitting there eating them, and he was throwing all the wrappers on the ground. All the wrappers on the ground. Well, Johnny came out and he was furious. And I think my buddy was pissed at him for some reason. I think he got banned for a week or something like that for doing something. And so we had this gigantic mound of empty Tooties wrappers on the ground outside his store. He came out, he flipped out. And I think he banned him again for a while after that. And that was Johnny's Market. You'd walk in there, and he'd always say, in this voice, this is how he talked. Hey ya, hiya. So hey ya, hiya is how you got greeted walking to Johnny's Market. And like I said, all his food was expired. He would go and buy it from different grocery stores and take it back there. And my buddy Tyler and I always were convinced that Johnny had like a back room that had beds in it with mints on the pillows with our names on them. Fred McGriff, Member's Choice, Ozzie Smith, because well, it was like definitely thought this guy was a pedophile of some kind, but I think he was kind of a harmless, dirty bookie. Trevor Hoffman, second year card shows up. Alan Trammell. I saw a white windowless van the other day, and it had Kurt's Care sign on it. Ron Darling. Paul says, love the penny candy shops. Could get Jolt Cola there too. Oh, absolutely. Adam Wise says, there has to be a guy like that in every town. Yeah, Johnny's Market. He passed away, but we definitely had some interesting times going to his store. Sean Abner. And then, of course, being like 16 and sitting outside of his store trying to get people to buy us cigarettes. And I remember he would sell us cigarettes when we were 16 too. Like sometimes he would, sometimes he wouldn't. It's like, all right, well, if you're not gonna do that, I'm gonna go sit outside your store and then throw wrappers on the ground just to spite you. Cordero, Reggie Sanders. Oh, the good times. Probably should have just kept collecting cards and stayed out of trouble, but I didn't really get in too much trouble. Sosa and Will the Thrill Clark, as Corey calls him. Pack number 2 for James H. Good times at Johnny's Market. A dirty bookie. Jeff Parrott shows up, first pack, or first card in the second pack. He'd probably accept a piece of plastic as your ID if he ever needed to ID you. Yeah, he was definitely a very shady business happening there. And he had what we called his son. We don't know if it was actually his son or not. Like significantly younger than him. Johnny was probably like 60s or 70s. I don't know. I couldn't actually put an age on him when I first started going there. He looked old. And this younger guy that hung out there all the time behind the counter, Mark Leonard, we always called him Johnny's son. There's Kennedy. But yeah, he gets so pissed with the penny candy having to count that out one at a time. taking a dollar and change in there. This is my son, cough, cough. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was definitely strange. Eddie Taubensee, Mark Agubaza, long, luscious locks in the background. locker room shot. Dave Henderson. And there is prime time. Deion Sanders. 4 packs left. Yeah, there was all kinds. We had all kinds of weirdos in our neighborhood. I don't know if I should tell stories about them or not, but we had nicknames for all of them. Plenty more stories I could tell you, but I feel like a lot of them probably not going to make it onto air. Maybe TPI After Dark one night. We'll have some of those. Benito Santiago again after he got traded. Keith Miller, Mike Williams shows up. For some reason, back in '93, I was stoked on Ted Wood. And I think we have a Ryan Sandberg first day production in this stack, James. That is freaking sick. Check that out. First time in my life I've ever actually pulled a Hall of Famer or like a prominent player first day production. That is absolutely sick. Craig B is drooling. Yeah, Craig B. Craig B, where are you when this historic moment is happening? For some reason, he has like a green tint to him. It's almost like the mutant version of Ryan Sandberg. Like that first day foil is like shining on his body. Rhino going through some tough times right now. I hope that he pulls through it and can overcome his cancer. That's a pretty freaking awesome one, though. But the first day parallel. Again, these are supposedly limited to 2,000 a piece per card. They're not numbered, but they supposedly only printed 2,000 of these. That's probably the case hit, I could say, for this rip. You wouldn't like him when he's angry. Juan Gonzalez, Dave Fleming, another guy that was on my pumped list back then. And Carlos Garcia. I used to hate Carlos Garcia really bad. I forget why, but he was a bucko, so I'm not really sure why we would. But there's Eddie Bettis, Mike Henneman, and Corey calls him the Rhinoceros, Dave Gallagher, along with Ricky Henderson to end that pack. So James H., nice hit there with the Rhino. 3 packs. You're right with the green weird. Yeah, there's definitely a weird green tint, and it's like it's coming off of that box. It's sick. That card's freaking awesome. So if it doesn't show up in your package, it probably got lost or taken in the mail. I'm just kidding. Another Baerga shows up, but this one is not nearly as cool as the non-human one we saw earlier, or as we call him, Carlos Berga, welded together. Junior Felix. Hershiser, all that work for a freaking Junior Felix. And the Glavin Air checklist will be in Series 3. Mike Myers, info card, and or probably going to piece. Almar Jr., Al Martin, an early card of him. Charles Nagy, Jay Buhner, and Orlando Merced. Lots of my once beloved buckos in this series. Murphy. Gaetti is the last card of that pack. 2 remain. Rich Monteleone. Orlando Merced and stuff. Yeah, the best game ever. Let's go play Orlando Merced and stuff. Pat Listash. There's actually a BJ Surhoff, the next series I'm obsessed with, that was in a package somebody sent me recently. I forget who it was. But this Pat Listash is pretty freaking sick, though. I would have went nuts over that card back in '93. I don't think I've ever seen it before. Another Rhino there. Also has a green tint, but doesn't have the same appeal as the first day production on that one. Berto Alomar, member choice. Pat the Flash Listash. And we're seeing some dupes now. Brian Jordan, Henry Cotto. Same collation as before. Jeff, Nelson, Ventura, Finley, and Bob McDonald ends that pack. One more left in this stack for James H. Jeff Conine starts it off. Marquise Grissom. I think for the next rip, we'll probably open some sort of junk wax era stuff that doesn't have the ultra varnish coating on it. After opening 3 boxes of this, I think I've earned myself a break for a while. Greg Colbrin, Pedro Stachio, Arthur Rhodes. Paul L. is pumped on Orestes Estrade. It's a nice photo of George Brett. Candy Audi can definitely still see the unibrow in that photo. Tim Costo. Arthur Rhodes played. He did play a long time. Lance Blankenship ends that stack. The books for James H. Moving on to Alton's stack in the bottom left. This tedious and never-ending 3-box break. Whatever led me to believe this is a good idea, I don't quite know. Luckily, there's not 36 packs per box. I'll be here all freaking night. The next 6 go to Alton. Find some nice. Lots of swashbuckling. Plenty of swashbuckling here. Cecil Fielder starts it off. Kevin Moss. Seeing some fresh faces. Paul Ossenmacher, Greg Olson. There's Big Mac, member choice. Candy Audi yet again. Sam Collation, Blankenship. There's the Big Cat for Corey. Steve Sachs literally in tears as he runs the baseline. Jefferson, Dunston. Shane Mack. This fake caterpillar-like eyebrows. Ends the first pack. The bottom left. Cross says the first box. The second box. Remember the 20-box mixer break of like 5 years ago? We need that again. That was absolutely grueling. 20-box mixer break. That was where that picture that's on the Facebook group and ended up being my first rookie card came from. That was it a 5-hour rip? I think was it a team break? I can't remember. That was a long one. I think my brother came over for that even maybe. Roberto Mejia. Many years back. That's kind of when I was first getting started. Dave Valley, surrounded by total darkness in that photo. Chuck Krim. Cringy name. I've not said that or heard it in a long time. Floyd, if it's a Steve Sachs or Val Kilmer, you decide. It doesn't look a lot like Val Kilmer. I definitely see the resemblance on that one. I haven't seen Val Kilmer or anything in a while. I heard he's very, very difficult to work with, though. Conseco, appreciate that, Floyd fan. Derek Lilliquist, James Austin, and Kent Home Run Beck. A lot of clubhouse photos in this release, too. I don't remember that at all from this time. Let's find Alton a nice insert. We have not seen one yet. I guess the Sandberg was in this box, but we should see something else in here. Jeff Blauser, there is the Delgado, somebody mentioned earlier. Lee Smith, I know a lot of people like to see him get the Hall of Fame. Bucket member choice, Butch Henry. So many action-packed photos in here. There's Aguilera, Bob Walkett again, Thompson, Tom Gordon, Jackson, Marsh, Slusarski, and Tim McIntosh. And 3 packs remain. Val Kilmer's a switch hitter. It's going to be really rough when you're opening these. Really crack open those crevices. Freddie Benavides. So getting a first look at some Colorado Rockies and Marlins jerseys in this release. Daryl Boston, there's Stillwell, Cecil Fielder yet again. Is it possible to have a real family picture sighting, please? You most absolutely, definitely can have that. It's been a while. And with the sighting of Troy Neal, I feel like we need a break from this release. And to bring in this creepy photo of the Rural family that I found in a collection I bought. It was actually in a tub full of mostly junk wax era cards. But for whatever reason, they had this picture in there. Very creepy photo. That will be on eBay soon for 10 grand. My dumbass, you think Val Kilmer was a lady? I can see that. I probably did too when I was younger. Troy Neal yet again. To go out and buy a Troy Neal starting lineup after this. Piazza, Zane Smith. Harris, Freeman, and Joe Millette. That photo is haunted. It very well might be. Will not be surprised if that is also a bad omen. Wake up at 3 a.m. to go take a piss, and like that photo is just floating by itself out in the hallway. Mudflap, what's happening, man? PSA 9 on the Royal family. I gotta send that in. We got an insert card, and it looks like another Rhino. Very abundant Rhino insert box. Hal Morris. I think these are double-sided, though. Smoltz yet again. Roberto Mejia. Second City Sluggers. These are exclusive to Series 2. Should be double-sided. And they have another play on the back side. Look at that. Probably one of the best ones you can get. Frank Thomas and Rhino. Very nice. Cool insert card. I think those are 1 per box. Bob Scanlon, Dave Hollins. Paul L says, went to class hungover 2 years ago, and I swear to God, I saw the 3-headed Mickey Weston walking on the streets. That was glorious. Eric Karros. Was Eric Karros and Mike Piazza in the same pack? We all know what that means. Steve Buechele. Esteban Beltre, Randy Knorr, and Chuck Knobloch. Yeah, Karros and Piazza definitely in the same pack. Last one for Alton. We have William Pennyfeather. That's one Joe's card corral would surely appreciate. Darryl Whitmore yet again. So this box definitely has more duplicates than we saw in the first box. Mo Vaughn, Rivera, Tewksbury, Trapper Keeper card. Paul L. is stoked on the Pennyfeather for Joe's card corral. We need to send a message to get him in here. Klesko, Tommy Green, Van Slyke, a couple cards in his release. Glenn Davis. I don't remember Glenn Davis having a goatee, but man, I'm going to call Mandela effect on his goatee on that one. Sierra and William Pennyfeather. That's actually a cool photo, though. I do like that one. Ends that stack for Alton. We go to the final stack of Series 2. Wasn't it Weston that had a 90 upper deck area? It definitely was the Weston that had, what was it? Was it Weston or was it somebody else? No, I think it was somebody else. Paul L. confirmed that, director of records. It was, I forget his name. I still have that card somewhere sitting around. But I think it had 2 holograms on it. Yeah, it was Jimmy Weston instead of Mickey Weston. He has the air in there, but the card that I'm talking about with the 2 holograms, I don't think it was Mickey Weston. I think it was somebody else. I think. But Mickey Weston does have an air in, yeah, Matt Murillo. That's who it was. It was a real creepy card. It had 2 holograms on it. Yeah, that's the one that I thought you were talking about. Mikey G, this last stack of Series 2 is for you. Floyd fan got it too. Matt Murillo. Couldn't think of his name there, but that card will be put into the Oddities collection. Video coming in the next 10 years. Double hollow Matt Murillo. It's a creepy freaking card. Smoltz, member choice, starts it off. And there's Donnie Baseball. So 2 cards we have not yet seen in this box, along with 2 Rockies. Jeff Nelson. And some dupes yet again. And it's probably about time for a 3-headed Mickey Weston sighting. I saw somebody on, I think it was Sports Card Nonsense, said post your favorite error cards. And I wanted to post the 3-headed Weston on there, even though it's not really an error. It's just like an anomaly in itself. But I lost the page before I could post that one in there. Someone posted like a no Frank Thomas on front. It was real ghetto looking. Like it was like the worst Photoshop job ever. They might have actually just took scissors and cut it out themselves and put it in a fake slab. Open more Pee-wee cards. I very well may do that. We may have to get a box of those at some point and open them. Although boxes of those are around $100 or so. Boys and Butts says, please rise again. Paul says, forever will be my favorite, my YouTube profile picture made by Nick West. The Nick West SSP. Pudge Rodriguez, member choice, shows up for the first time. Some Rockies, Marlins, Mike Benjamin. Chris Hoyles for Corey's existing PC. I can actually say that now and not be telling tall tales. Although I swear Corey told me that years ago and then took it back. Kevin Kozlowski, Eric Plonk, of course, is going to show up. Pete O'Brien having the time of his life. Mark Davis and Kurt Schilling ends that pack. 4 more remain for Series 2 until we get into the nail-biting conclusion of box number 3. Luis Gonzalez, nice photo of him. We need a Chris hologram card. Some more stickiness here, Devon White. And now Brian Hunter seducing his bat. Not really sure what was going on with those photos. Mark Guthrie, definitely about to break down in tears. Marquise Grissom, Brian Barnes, Kevin Tapani. And Bo Jackson shows up the first time along with the Crime Dog for Corey. Gullickson Hojo. What a mug. And Travis Fryman leaping around. Again, he's no match for Walkton. And then number 3 for Mikey G. Vinny Castilla. We got another insert in here. It's going to be Will Clark coming up in here. So there's about 1 per box, I guess. Ramon Martinez Imposter. Jack Moores and Barry Larkin. That is Will Clark. Will the Thrill Clark. Will the Clark. That's what we'll call him from now on. Doug Jones. Kevin McReynolds. And that commendable scum stash. Mark Grace yet again. But Will the Clark. Dave Valley. Chuck Krim. So many cringy names in here. Finley. There's Big Mac. I think first time seeing that one. Scott Kamenecki ends that pack. 2 left. $44.4. What's up, man? Jeff Blauser shows up. Jeff Blauser always had like a very... I feel like he always had like a 45-year-old face, even when he was like 20. And Delgado, yet again. Lee Smith. Pocket number choice. Paul says antique mall dealers would take that Will Clark, cut out the picture, and try to sell it as a mini for $100. I would not put it past them. That is definitely some antics you would witness in an antique mall. And hopefully I'll be hitting the road here sometime soon to find more deals like that. Chatty Foos says, Will the Clark? We always said Walt the Weiss, no reason. Walt the Weiss and Will the Clark. Matt Young and Mel Rojas. 1 pack remains for Mikey G. This tedious, exhausting rip. I was hoping that was Jeff Bittiger, but it's not. My dreams have been shattered. It's Dave Gallagher instead. Calvin Jones starts it off. So you're only going to see about maybe 2 inserts per box. First day production parallel. And 1 insert. So skimping you on those big time. It wasn't like a Fleer Ultra Release or Fleer even where you'd find 1 every 4 packs. But I guess he had these high quality photos to make up for a lack of inserts. And not a whole lot of duplicates. I guess the second box was different than the first. We got to see a lot more in this one. Worse collation. Mike Henneman and Dave Gallagher ends that stack from Mikey G in the books. Taking us to the final box. Thank goodness. 1 box remains. If I can find it on these League of Pack Wrappers Series 3. Looking for JT Snow rookie card. How many years did Topps make mini cards? What do you mean by mini cards? Like the old leaders cards from the 80s? At least the pack search. Otis Nixon was the oldest looking player ever. Him and Charlie Huff. Tango says Griffey time. Can we find any Griffies in this release? I'm sure we can. I'm excited for it. Tango's the top left yet again. And now we have yellow to herald in Series 3. The next 6. Going to Tango. Blauser and Richie Cunningham are the same person. And look at that. Tango, you called it, man. Just like last time, Jeff Juden shows up with a Gwyn. He called the Gwynn in the last stack, and now he calls it Griffey. There's Javi Lopez, or as we called him, JV Lopes. Griffey in the first stack, and I thought that was an insert card for a second. Nice Griffey. Vaughn Calderon. All by his lonesome Mike Felder. But these cards actually aren't stuck together, which is sick. Hopefully the whole box like that. BJ Surhoff, that card I'm obsessed with. Ben Rivera. Looks like he just knocks me out cold. I can't tell who that is. Scott Fletcher and Brian Harvey. So this last box may go down rather quickly, which would make me a very happy old gherkin. Mercedes, Alan Mills, Kevin Mitchell, Ricky Gutierrez. Another sweet design for Trapper Keeper card. And Jose Lean, of course, shows up after he betrayed me and everything I stood for and was traded to the Royals, only to be arrested for a DUI not long after this, naked in his car with a bunch of blow on him. After that, it was time to move on to a new favorite player, which I think ended up being Aaron Seeley, but not before Chuck, Carr, etc. Baines, Quintano. There's Paul O'Neill from Mikey G, not in his stack, though. There is Charlie Huff, Greg Gagne, Mitch Webster, Benji Gill, and our cringy name, Mike Bilecki, and Greg Hibbard ends that pack. We're now an hour and 16 minutes into this never-ending rip as I prepare to open a case of 88 Donruss afterwards. Tim Wallach, Frank Thomas, member of Choice, shows up now. Kevin Seitzer, John Jaha for Paul L. Trying to look very badass, but he was not fooling anybody. Lonnie Smith, Nigel Wilson would have been a card I was stoked on pulling back in '93. Dave Stieb, Steve Decker, Dave Cohn, and speaking of Otis Nixon, there he is. 3 packs left for Tango. I guess it sounds like Jose Lean owes you an apology for ruining your childhood. You know what? I would like that. Somebody please reach out to Jose Lean and tell him to apologize to me for shattering my hopes and dreams and ruining my what could have been biggest Jose Lean PC in existence. Probably had like 50 of his cards. But yeah, he's my favorite player for the first, I don't know, 3 years of my card collecting, 3 or 4 years, something like that. Joe Girardi. Terry Mulholland, until he did that, betrayed me. Mike Fetters. There's Brian Taylor, second year, was a hot one back then. Wade Boggs shows up again. And that's the end of the pack. 2 left. Otis Nixon always looked older than Yoda to me. Jose Lean's in the cartel now. You reach out to Jose Lean, the freaking some sort of Mexican mob shows up in my house, demanding to confiscate all my Jose Lean cards. Probably show up with Topps reps. Another sweet color scheme of that one. Alex Arias, Kenny Maldonado, Bobby Kelly. I have never seen Roberto Kelly referred to as Bobby in my life. That is freaking me out. Bobby Kelly. Has anybody else ever seen that? And a JT Snow rookie to boot. That was a hot card back in 1993. Norm Charlton, Robbie Thompson, Jeffries, Lee Brandt, Mike Draper ends that pack. Bobby Kelly. I can't wrap my head around that. Very strange anomaly. Like Bob Clemente. Well, Bob Clemente, I guess, I mean, they shortened it to Bob just to fit his name on the card. You got plenty of space on that card. I mean, it's weird. They have other, like, there's definitely much bigger names in this release than Terry Mulholland stuff. Bobby Kelly. Maybe he wanted to switch up a little bit, I guess. Joey Davis, Mean Muggin, Julio Franco, Sherman Abando. Name I've not heard in a long time. Steve Cook. There's Ozzie Canseco, another cringy name there. Tim Rock Reigns. Topps used for like 3 years. They definitely did. It's an interesting one, too. Selling something that appeals to kids and putting a rock on there. Hey, Mom, why do they call him Rock? Paul Molitor. There is Kurt Manwaring, trying very hard to imitate Robbie Thompson. Mark Eichhorn, a.k.a. Lois Einhorn. Domingo Martinez, I feel like I was stoked on him temporarily, and a Greg Max member choice is going to end that first stack that went down way easier than expected. Stack 2 in Series 3, James H. Top right is yours. Let's find another nice first day production card. See Jim Abbott. And there's True Rookie in the back. The extended rookie from 88. Is that JT Snow first day production? Oh, Jim Tatum. You screwed me again. I was like, oh, that looks a lot like the JT Snow rookie. That actually would have been pretty cool. But Jim Tatum comes around to ruin everyone's evening. Tony Fernandez, Kevin Young, Dave Martinez, Avery, there's Maddox again, Hanky, Al Leiter, Carpenter, Jim Abbott, and there's that Jim Tatum first day production. Let's see if we can find the Tom Glavine error card. Is it on here? Number 700. I thought it was number 700. I could be wrong, though. I guess I'm horribly wrong. Yeah, I thought it was the last card of the set, but I think it's on this card where they just left an E off his name. Nothing that's really that important, but would be fun to see it regardless. And I'm not seeing it on there. So we'll skip that. Sheffield, Kevin Stalker, Doug DeCenzo's at back. Joseph Naka says, no Tops Kids. Speaking of that, was it the new Bowman inserts, the case hits that look like they're 55 Tops design, but they're like anime figures or drawings? How do you guys feel about that? Bonds member choice shows up. John Olerud, good looking card to him. Navarro, Mahomes, another Bonds, 2 Bonds, 1 pack. Mike Harkey, Jeff Russell, Plantier. So you definitely have some of the same names in different series in this release. Paul Wagner, Sanderson, and there's Gibby, as Corey calls him. Ari says 1990 Umpire wax box on eBay for $100. Who's buying that crap for $100? Are there like PSA 10s in there that are worth a lot of money? There's got to be some sort of weird thing behind that, or there's only like 2 boxes left in existence. John Johnston, Bud Black, Frank Bollock. Here's Greg Swindell yet again. Dave Stewart, Willie Green, Reed, Billy Ripken, Springer, Bernansky, Spike Owen, and there is the Hawk yet again. I don't think people could want that Joe West rookie card. They've never touched air. Very true. Even when you open the packs, they've still never touched air. And that is the biggest selling point. They fit Fernando Valenzuela on a card, but they couldn't fit Roberto Kelly on a card. Riddle me that. Gardner, Steve Reed, Dan Buford, Williams, Winfield, Reynolds, Reardon, Dan Wilson, Jim McKee, Otis Nixon yet again, John Shave, Fernandez, and there is JT Snow, rookie, not a first day production, which is very upsetting to me. But I guess out of 3 boxes, we got a Sandberg. Can't really get too much better than that. Could have got all commons. Clemens shows up. This is the first time I've seen a Clemens in a whole box, or the whole rip, I think. Matt Mieske, Guzman, Decker, David Cohn, Chili Davis, Franco again, and Dave Martinez. 1 pack left for James. Even Angel Fernandez family don't want his rookie card. I feel like Angel Hernandez is in kind of hot water this year. I don't think anything's really going to happen to him, but Dave Justice, Tarasco, Tom Glavine, Steve Avery. Lots of Braves in this pack. Brave Super Pack. Maddox, Hanky, Molitor, and another Griffey. Last pack Magic with a Griffey. And Phil Plantier is going to end that stack for James H. The books. Taking us to Alton. His final stack in Series 3. Let's see if we can find something neat. I think Alton got the Sandberg Frank Thomas insert in the last box. And there is the Hawk yet again. Joe McGrain. He's Guillermo Hernandez coming up, I want to say, is an heir also. Or Guillermo Velasquez. Greg Gore, Joe McGrain, Dave Stewart again. So the first box is pretty awesome as far as collation, and the next 2, a lot of duplicates. Pack number 2. We're going to spend a whole lot of time on these. We've got Chipper Jones showing for the first time in his rip. Nice to see him. And of course, thank you, Topps, for putting his actual true rookie card on the back of here. I feel like a lot of people disagree that that's his rookie card. Maddox, member's choice. Winfield. Reynolds, Reardon, Wilson. David Need now shows up. We've been flipping out about that as a 9-year-old kid. And 4 packs left. The bottom left stack. I don't know if I'd rather have these pack wrappers or like 89 score. And we got something sweet coming up in here. Another insert card. Lois Einhorn, card 1 of 2. Who's it going to be? David Need. I think I pack pulled that back. I don't know, when I first got back into the hobby and was like pretty excited about it, even though it's like a worthless card. Just because David Need was a big deal in this time. Card 1 of 2 for the Rockies. And these were 1 per box. David Need was a big freaking name. It's crazy. If you go back through old Beckett's and look at 92 Bowman, how much those cards were valued at back in 92. And back in 92, if you went to a card show, that's what, you know, all the sellers were using at card shops and shows to price their cards at. There was no eBay back then. So David Need, I feel like you had so many of these big rookies in 92 Bowman. And so for me at the time, I think that's why it's one of my favorite sets. Like, not only because it's so unique in design, all the spring training photos and stuff like that, but just like there was, at that time, freaking salivating over getting my hands on a Nigel Wilson rookie or Juan Guzman or, you know, Jeffrey Hammond's USA foil card or David Need rookie. Some of the huge prospects that definitely fell short of the expectations. JT Snow, I want to say, had a 92 Bowman, I think. I could be wrong about that. There's Bobby Kelly again. But just the list goes on of the big rookies. And in 92, if you would have tried to like trade me a Mo Rivera rookie for, I don't know, Vaughn Eshelman, I'll probably be like, get lost, man. Because those were the expectations back then. Do you keep any sort of bust box, like a collection of, you know what, Brandon? I have stacks of those cards sitting around. Like I have stacks of cards that like I thought were real sick back in that time, like Marquise Grissom rookies and like Todd Van Poppel, just because they're worthless, but the memories that are attached to those cards, and a lot of those I didn't have as a kid, and I've thought about going back and like putting them all together and making a video on them, like the cards that really were important to me as a kid. I mean, not to mention I have my PC of Lean and stuff like that, but for some reason I never had all these like big rookie cards. I guess I didn't really have much luck pack pulling stuff back then. I think I pulled a Todd Zeal $90 Russ Ray rookie and Pat Listash in 92, but for some reason I don't think I bought like any 90 Topps Crater when that came out. I think my brother had a bunch of those, but you know, you had Todd Hundley and Travis Fryman. I don't think I had those cards when I was a kid. So and Kevin Moss, like, might have had one of his rookies. So yeah, I would like to put something like that together just for a keepsake of cards that like I really wanted or had to own, as well as everybody else at the time. Frank Thomas, member choice. Griffey. Keep thinking that Calderon is a freaking insert because of the side of it. Incavilla, Surhoff. Card is awesome. Rivera, Fletcher, and Brian Harvey ends that stack for Alton. One more stack left for Mikey G. So maybe someday in the future, Paul L., put them on a list of empty promises. You know what I just noticed? There's a box top in here. Is that in every box? Only in Series 3. That's wild. And I'm going to reveal that here in a second. Where is the Series 1 box? That's buried, I think. Yeah, Series 3, they gave us one of the big master photos. And guess who it is? Because I just peeked. This would have been like a golden box in 1983 as a kid. They gave us a freaking JT Snow. The case hit right there. How sick is that? I definitely still have a bunch of these, but when I was a kid, I loved these so much. I need to like put the whole set together or something like that. But these were freaking awesome. But JT Snow rookie master photo, that would have been some serious coin as a kid back in when I was 9 years old. Bill F says, don't you do that already with your rookie box? Or is the rookie box only modern and not guys from the late 80s, 90s? With the rookie boxes, that's really only like star players, Hall of Famers, and stuff like that. I thought about putting like Jose Lean and stuff like that in there just because those cards meant a lot to me back then, but I have not done that yet. So I may make a separate box. Probably makes it confusing, but a separate box of like cards that were meaningful to me at this time, or cards that I always wanted as a kid, or something like that. Speaking of Jose Lean, there he is. Because I definitely have stuff like that too, like a Jose Lean rack pack with his 88 tops in the middle. Somebody sent me like things of that nature. I don't really have a place for it in a rookie box, but it would be cool to have like another box, as if I need more of those. Mike Bilecki and Greg Hibbard. And tomorrow I will be selling off a TPIA mystery box full of random stuff. You might find a Jeff Bittiger 89 tops in there. You might find a Carmen, a Mike Walkton, TPIA 87 tops, auto. Filled with a bunch of inserts and base cards, random rookies. Might be a pack in there, TPIA sticker, but throw that up for grabs tomorrow. Paul says, when is 90 Tops going to be? 90 Tops is probably going to be, I guess, on Thursday. And then Friday, I'll do a video, do a live stream of that collection, those shoe boxes that I bought over the weekend. I actually completely forgot about those. Bonds, Olerud, and I think 90 Tops, I guess we'll do it live. I'm going to open those like 6 jumbo racks that Joseph C sent me. So it'll be a very short video, but maybe we'll linger and do some heavy loitering. Open a case of something terrible afterwards. 4 packs left in this rip. Infamous and Invincible. Cheap Toym. What's happening, man? It says, happy ripping. Thanks for popping in, man. The very last of a very long rip because of the stickiness of the first 2 boxes. And this last one is going down real smooth. Joseph Nack says, cards mean a lot to John. Equal great idea for our Empty Promise video. Kevin Young was pumped on him back then. Yeah, one of these days we'll do it. We will do it. Arius says, those jumbo 90 Tops are supposedly no name on front treasure chest. I've always had a good feeling that you could find the no name on front in those jumbo packs. Maybe it's because I watched a YouTube video a long time ago of someone pulling one out of one of those. Could have been a plant in there. I don't know. But I've always had a good feeling about them. So we'll see. Clemens, I do have a case of those as well that I've thought about opening. I think it has, is there 30 packs in there? Bonds again. So we've already seen our insert, I guess, and first day production. So we're probably not going to find anything else in this last 2 packs. Sanderson and Gibson in that pack. 2 more for Mikey G. And Mikey G, you'll have a cool Donnie Baseball rack pack heading your way too. I think it's 88 score that I promised you like 2 years ago and then couldn't find it, but it surfaced again recently. So you'll have that heading your way with your shipment. Am I going to buy one of those skateboarding race hats? I might. I'll wait and see. Are they actually out now? Maddox Master Photo card shows up the redemption. I wonder why they chose to do that, though. That's interesting. Russ Springer, Tom Bernansky, Spike Owen, and the Hawk. Final pack of this super long rip. Got a chipper. Hour and a half for 3 boxes. It's actually not too bad, considering the first 2 were tough to get through. Carter, member choice, Charlie Hayes, Dave Justice, Tarasco, Winfield, Reynolds, Reardon. Dan Wilson looks entirely too young to be in the majors. David Need, Bichette, Ray Bush, and Chipper Jones. Ends that rip. 3 boxes, all 3 series of Stadium Club. And we'll probably something I'll probably never open here again. So we got it out of the way. And I don't know. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I thought it would be interesting to rip all 3 series for the first and last time. And I'm very surprised on finding a JT Snow Master Photo in the 3rd box. I don't know why they put them in that one exclusively, but could have been a better one, I guess, to excite the 9-year-old version of myself. But if you have any suggestions on future rips, feel free to drop them in the comments. I will always take them into consideration. Hopefully something that doesn't have the UV coating on it for next time. But that's it for tonight, guys. Thank you all for being here. You guys freaking rule. I will hopefully see you back tomorrow night around 8 p.m. for a live sports card sale. Have a great night, guys.